Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Use code Mayo at Underdog Fantasy right now. Get yourself a first-time deposit match of up to $100. If you can't remember that, just hit the description. The link is down there. Bring you right to it. All right, and we got MLB season coming up, so we're going to talk some future bets today to lock in for the next 6 months and hopefully get some giant payouts for that. But I did want to bring in John Laghezza, who's hosting the Fantasy Baseball Picks and Bet Show live on Mayo Media Network every single weekday. It might probably late afternoon. It's going to be a quick show. You're going to get your underdog plays. You're going to get your bets. If you want to get in and out and just have the plays of the day, Big John will have you hooked up on Mayo Media Network. You can even jump in, ask him questions live, or if you're at like 6:15, be like, hey, I need to know the plays of the day. Boom, take you like 2 minutes to figure out what those plays are. Big John, I'm so happy to have you back on the network. You've been doing best ball drafts already. If people are really there's what, like 100K up top, something like that for one of these ones?
Yep, turn $10 into 100K. You know, I was just tweeting about it this morning. That tournament is about to close. And just really quick, there are still plus EV pathways to it. We all know, right? You guys are familiar with Underdog, your listeners. And I know people are starving for the CLV that you get early on. But Pat, you don't want to be eating zeros, right? So right now, you could get a full team of baseball players that are not dead, and you might even be able to get, with lineups and injuries and young guys making the roster, players that are not drafted on any of those past teams. So you could kind of get in the back door, get a unique team. Again, I have ranks for all that stuff. Follow me on Twitter at John Laghezza. We'll get you hooked up. Use the MMN code when you sign up to Underdog. And we're going to put them right in a plus EV position. Like, legit, these are my teams, man. You know, I filtered out the 3,000 names for all the guys we want. And you could just run the order, really, and you'll be in a good position to at least make the playoffs.
All right, so today we're just going to talk about your gold, silver, and bronze picks for the MLB future season. You got some big ones in here, so hit me with the gold. Let's start off hot.
Yes, you know what? I also know you have a Canadian following, right? So let's get out front, me as a Yankee fan. Let's start with the Blue Jay. How about Vlad Guerrero, right? That's somebody that we like. To lead the major leagues in hits, it's now 50-1. When I posted, it was 65-1, but, you know, nice. We all know futures can move a lot, and it should always go without saying you need to shop these things around because the difference, right? We're not talking about minus 105 to minus 108, Pat. We're talking about plus 50, might be plus 65, might be plus 20 somewhere else. So, listen, Vlad Guerrero is awesome. Newsflash, I think the market in general has gotten a bit cold on the Blue Jays. They're all very good. The entire team ran cold. We always want to be buying the dip on talent. Let's get into it, right? Last 3 years, he hit 311, 274, 264. More importantly, for talking hits, he was number 3 in hits. He was number 10, then number 30. Remember, that was in a down year. We want to buy on that. Though, in that span, Patty, 3-year span, he's number 5 in the major leagues in hits. He's only 25 years old. And again, last year, in that down year, number 30 in hits, he had a 299 XBA. BABIP is a thing that's batting average on balls in play. Again, just look for regression. We know the talent is there, all the pedigree. So over 2,100 plate appearances going into last year. He had a 300 BABIP. He's a 300 hitter. Last year it was 277, really low for him, kind of out of character. And again, buying the dip, we're going to look for positive regression. People always moaning and complaining about the home runs because he's more of like a low launch angle guy, but that's fine. We're just looking for hits. He's got the launch angle tightness that we're looking for in the good lineup that I think will turn over. And again, the price is right, man. 50-1 on Vlad Guerrero to lead the league in hits. I love that play.
All right, where's that at right now?
Okay, so I've got everything off either DK or FanDuel. I checked everything this morning to make sure that they're all live and all available on, you know, whatever we're going to call them, public books or whatever. So, yeah, I think both sites might have had the same price at 50-1.
All right, so 50-1, Vlad Guerrero, most hits in baseball. What's your silver pick?
Oh, this one is just so much fun. Gambling, Pat, one of the reasons I enjoy your stuff is there is an element of enjoying it and understanding that it can be fun and should be fun. You could drive yourself crazy. This one is going to be a lot of fun to root for. Give me Oneil Cruz to lead the major leagues in home runs. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen this guy. Like, that should just be my argument We should just get him coming off the bus. He looks like Schwarzenegger next to DeVito in Twins. The guy's an absolute monster, like in a room of freaks. He's the freak. 6'7", 220. Again, he's only 25. So there is a case to be made that there's another level to be had. He missed all of last year. So again, we're buying low, market perception. There's a lot of not sharp people out there. Okay. We're worried about the ankle. He stole a base in spring training. I don't like to go nuts about spring training, but it does matter, right? It does happen. I like to just gauge health. So I think that's in place. He also happens to be leading the bigs in home runs in spring training. He's got 7 dongs already. Again, not to overreact, but if you've ever seen him swing, he's got the big time pull approach. This guy quite literally, Pat, hits the ball like when they say out of the yard, like he hits the ball out of the stadium. Like it doesn't even land in the seats. It's just absurd. His 122.5 max EV is the hardest hit ball ever. He's 25 years old. He's in the league 40, has maybe 400 plate appearances, has the hardest hit ball ever. Where else would you want to put your money? This one was 110-1. It's now down to 60. But I love that one, 60-1. I'm just glad that you mentioned the books and shopping around. So this one on FanDuel is 60-1. DK has him down to 35. Now, remember, I post these. I have whatever sway I have. And so I'm sure people bet this one up on DK. So make sure that you're pricing Oneil Cruz out because 60 to 35 is a tremendous difference. But, yeah, this one could be juicy.
So Oneil Cruz, 60-1 to lead the league in home runs. I do want to let everyone know if they do want to get in on some of these MLB best ball drafts right now to go check Mayo Media Network. John has a bunch of streams up there trying out different strategies. Again, code Mayo at UnderdogFantasy.com to get yourself a first-time deposit match of up to $100. I might have to jump into these streets. I don't even know who half these guys are. That's why I'm doing no talking on the show, John. That's why I bring you in, because I've been out of the baseball scene for a while, but I'm not afraid to get some futures down on some of this stuff. So one more.
I knew that. You have the audience for it, Pat, right? You guys, your audience understands how to bet these futures. They're very similar to overall wins in golf, right? The high odds, understanding that it is a long shot, and like a roulette board, you can kind of put your chips in a few different places.
What do you got for your bronze pick?
All right, also really quick, you didn't mention we are going to be here Monday through Friday in the regular season and working through Underdog parlays. Listen, man, because they standardize these parlays as far as the pricing goes, if we're sharp, which I think we are, and we can get ahead of CLV, we're going to be putting up parlays. And if you follow along, I'm going to be breaking down the plays in detail, but also showing people how to bet this market. We are going to be way in front as far as pricing goes every single day that you could bet your bottom dollar. All right, the last one, it's my boy Freddy Peralta on the Brewers starting pitcher. We want the league lead in strikeouts. He's at 35-1. Now, I know the very first thing anyone kind of in tune with this market is going to say, Johnny, what about Spencer Strider? I get it. That's what we're betting up against. But I really do think it's baked into the price here because he is my second or third candidate for it. But to be 35-1, he's also listed as low as 15-1 on other books, which, again, that type of disparity makes the difference between you getting 3 chips down in this market opposed to 1, where any one of these hits would be a profit, which, again, at the end of the day is all about using black ink instead of red. So we're not to say we're betting on a Strider injury, but a lot of things can happen, right? A twisted ankle could cost him 3 starts, and that's all we need, right? We don't absolutely need his arm to fall off. Let's get back into steady Freddy Peralta. Now, he finally got healthy. We always knew the ceiling was there. He started elevating the fastball, something that's really very big that we've noticed as we understand all the nerdy fantasy stuff, Pat, and ball and flight trajectory, that getting the fastball up with good shape is a really good thing. He already had the insane arsenal, slider, change, and curve, minimum 32% width across. I mean, come on, a third of the swings offered at this guy are swings and misses. He led the major leagues in K- walk in the second half. That number was an absurd 30%, which is just ridiculous. You can hardly come up with 2 numbers, KN walk, to come up with a 30 number where it's not ridiculous. And in the second half, he was second in overall strikeouts to ... Spencer Strider. So I just think this is more of a pricing bet. He should be 6-1 or 7.5-1, which I think is where those 15-1s are going to end up. So while we could smash a 35-1, you absolutely got to get it. He finished 9th last year in strikeouts at 27 years old. I think there's another step. 3 of the guys in front of him last year, Cole, Gaussen, and there's one more, are behind schedule. And again, you're going to need all your starts to get this. So give me Freddy Peralta 35-1. If we get any one of these, Pat, we have a huge windfall, and we have a chance to hit 2 of them. You know.
I like it. Yeah, let's hit all 3 of them. Why not? Right?
All right, let's do it.
Because that's going to be the move when we're doing the daily underdog. Because I'm going to be tailing all of your underdog entries, the higher, the lower, whatever it might be. So maybe you do like a 2 play, or I mean, on underdog to really like get the most benefit from combining your fantasy props together. The 3 and the 5 tend to be the best in terms of getting yourself, 6 or 5-1 on a 3-banger, 10 or I think it's 20-1 on a 5-banger, whatever it might be. Those tend to be the sweet spots of taking the underdog plays together versus like a sportsbook price that you might end up on the higher end there. And don't forget, there's like the hot tamales in there. If you feel really good about something, you can double your entry just like that. Double the odds on everything.
Well, I love that you mentioned the accessibility before, and Pat, again, that's why I kind of gravitated to you. Hopefully that's why you kind of brought me on board and why people are gravitating to me and now hopefully us. I am wide open book. I run the moving averages algorithm every day. I'm going to have that stuff out there. Our listeners, just hit us up. We're going to put you in the driver's seat. We've got custom projections. All my custom work is going to be here at Mayo Media Net, and it's going to revolve around it. So I didn't want to speak to a definitive, meaning every day I'm going to have a 3-pick or a 4 or a 5, like you mentioned. We're going to gauge it to the pricing and the market and the slate, and we're going to put people in a position to win. But at the same time, it's not just that. I'm going to give you all the other kind of purview, right? My purview for the day, and using the team totals, the custom applied team totals, and all the starting pitcher ranks and stuff that I put out. I'm going to help you shape your entire ticket, and we might even have DFS guys that are going to get something from it. Perfect.
So betting, DFS, get your underdog plays in. Use code Mayo at Underdog Fantasy right now. Load in that $100, get the $200, and you're already up $100, so you're good to go. Then you can start getting in on either some of these best ball drafts or just wait for John during the season to start handing out some plays. I'm very excited for it. I'm excited to win some money.
Me too. I'm coming out my chair if you couldn't tell by how fast I was talking.
No, it's all right. They can slow it down to like...
You're used to crazies. Come on, Pat. If I wasn't a little weird, I wouldn't be part of the carnival, man.
I suppose that's probably true. If you need to slow John down, you just go to your podcast settings and turn it to 0.75 speed. It will take a little bit longer, but it might be in a language that you could potentially decipher. Who knows?
Patty, hold on. Can you imagine for the Zoomers out there listening to stuff at 2 speed? I must just sound like a solid tone, right? It's just like...
I wouldn't know. I produce this show to be listened to at 1x. That is how I listen to things. And once it's once that's out of my control, I can't control what anyone else does and how they want to listen.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you, man.
But I have had people meet me in real life be like, wow, your voice sounds way different. I was like, I sound exactly like I do on the show. The same cadence, the same volume, the same pace. They're like, oh yeah, but I listen at 1.75 speed. It's like, well, that's not my fucking problem. That's your problem.
1.7. My goodness, man. What's the hurry, man?
Yeah, some people need the info, and that's why the shows are going to be compact. They're going to be full of info, full of plays. So if you don't have an hour and a half to tune into a baseball show, you just need the plays of the day. You're going to love John's show daily on Mayo Media Network, plus all the strategy videos that are up there right now. I recommend that you go check them out. You can follow John on Twitter at John Laghezza, and you can go subscribe to everything that he does. Just go check him out. John's always good at getting back to people, whether it be in the comments section, whether it be on Twitter, to get you the information and tools that you need to succeed this MLB season. Smash the like and sub to the channel while you're there. And hey, you might as well turn on notifications so you don't miss out on those live streams. Okay? I'm Pat Mayo. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Mayo Experience! Experience!